Hi guys, this is Justin back with an engineer's perspective, and today I'm going to be making a video on what sharpening system, setup, whatever you should get depending on what you're looking for. So in my KME video, I got a viewer who asked the question, what sharpening system should I get? I currently use a sharp maker, and I want to get into something else, maybe higher end or more capable, but something like the KME seems like it's too expensive. So the answer to that question is complex because it really depends on what kind of knives. Oh, and he also said that he didn't trust his ability in freehand sharpening. So the answer to that question, it depends on, what kind of knives are you sharpening? What kind of results are you looking for? And just kind of how do you use your tools? And what's your budget, of course. So I tried to make this as simple as humanly possible. So I kind of broke down 3 categories of knives, 2 types of users for each category, and I kind of did 4 categories of results for those combinations. However, I'm going to say right now that the correct answer is and will always be learn how to freehand sharpen. Learn how to use a water stone, learn how to use a diamond plate. That is the correct answer, is learn how to freehand sharpening. That will always be the right answer. It will be the least expensive with the highest results pretty much every time. It will be every time. That's going to be the answer. So just to make that clear, the answer is learn how to freehand sharpen. So moving past that, understanding that not everybody wants to do that, and understanding the specific viewer's request, we're going to get into this. So, start from the left, we'll work our way to the right. So, the first class of knives is I just randomly assigned a dollar value. It doesn't really matter. But less than $75, you're kind of Buck, Kershaw, Gerber sort of knife user. So if you consider yourself an enthusiast in this category, so maybe all you can afford is like the Kershaw Dividend, which is a great knife. Let's just say that's all you can afford, but you are really an enthusiast. You're really trying to maximize what you're getting out of your knife in this category is probably the WorkSharp Precision Adjust plus a strop that they came out with. That's probably the best you're going to do in this category, trying to match the cost here to your budget range. Once again, freehand sharpening is probably the better answer, but the Precision Adjust is you're going to get the highest quality edge, the most control with that. Keeping in mind that I have not tested this out myself, but knowing the caveats that come with the KME, I'm just going to say that this isn't going to be a foolproof thing. Even with these type of sharpeners, you are going to need to learn how to sharpen and the caveats with it and how to be consistent. Like consistent pressure is very important, especially with one like this. But I really recommend a strop. So the WorkSharp Precision Adjust is probably $50-$60. And then you can pick up some of this stuff. This is just diamond spray, 1 micron from Chef Knives to Go. Spray that on a paint stirrer. Just find a flat one for free at your local hardware store. And then use this as a strop. So this stuff is $16. Let's just say $8 to ship it. That's not true, but let's just pretend. So let's say it costs you $25, $50 for the Precision Adjust, $75 to get you going. So that's for the enthusiast. But if you're just a functional guy, if you just, go to the construction site, you just want to cut, or you just carry a pocket knife because you think it's convenient, It just needs to cut the things. You just want it to be sharp, but it doesn't need to be perfect. Then the single best value in all of abrasives, I think, is the Work Sharp guided field sharpener. So it's not a fully guided system, but these 20-degree guides here, and then 25-degree stropping and 25-degree ceramic are really good at getting you going. And I guarantee that if you follow my sharpening steps that I define here with this guy, you will get good results. I've gotten hair whittling results off of this on my Leatherman Wave before. That's just 420 HC. So you can do it too. You know, you can use the guides. You can take these plates off like this and just freehand it. I do that probably most frequently. And I usually just do coarse fine strop. I don't always use the ceramic, but regardless. So for 30 bucks, you're getting 2 diamond grits, 1 ceramic, or technically 2 grits of ceramic, a coarse and a fine, and then comes with a loaded strop for 30 bucks. So that'll get you going if you're just looking for a functional edge right there, getting good results out of the gate. I recommend still probably picking up some sort of better stropping compound to add to your strop, but you don't need it right away. So 30 bucks out the door, you're good to go. You can pick these up at all kinds of places. So, okay. So now moving on to the next category of knives is your $75 to $250 range. Now this is probably most people that would find this video, I'm guessing, fall in that range. This is the range I'm in. Like for me, I would rather have 2 knives in Maximate 10V or K390 than 1 CRK or Hinderer. However, when Chris Reeve ups to S45 VN, there's a very good chance I'm going to have a Sebenza on the way. But regardless, so if you're in this camp, this category of Spyderco and Benchmade, this is a very wide range of people. There's a lot of just hardworking, I just needed to cut whatever people that carry these knives and will spend $180, 200 bucks on a 940. But if you're still just, I just needed to cut, this is still going to be your answer, is the Work Sharp field sharpener. So functional Work Sharp guided field sharpener right there, 30 bucks for all the reasons I mentioned previously. Now, if you are an enthusiast in these categories, you're buying the sprint runs of the Spydercos, you're buying the special edition Benchmades, the dealer exclusives, the Dash ones, you know, and you've got M4, S90V, whatever. You should really be looking at getting into these fixed angle systems or freehanding. So notice how I kind of changed my mind here. Originally, I was like that, as I was just said, go Edge Pro, but that's totally not fair, especially like, so this is the category I'm in, and I 100% say do freehand. So if you're a Spyderco Benchmade enthusiast, I would say get one of these systems or go freehand. Freehand is still the better answer, and look at the cost range. You can get into freehanding for 70 bucks easy. So for example, this is a DMT, does it say it? Yep, it does. DMT 3x8 diamond plate for $50, brand spanking new. You get that compound for say $25, and then the strop is free. So this setup, I guess, isn't 70, but it's 75. And let's say you wanted a coarse stone. So for a long time, I used this. This is a DMT with a fine on this side, coarse on this side. So now I've even got an extra grit involved, and I'm hitting words. Oh yeah, I think I picked this plate up. It was used on Amazon for like $30. So we're under 50 bucks here. These plates are normally 45. So this setup's, you know, gosh, I cannot think, $70 right there. Another example is, this is from Gritomatic, a Veneve diamond resin waterstone, diamond bonded, resin bonded waterstone here. And you can get these in all manner of grits, but this one right here I think was like $35. So you're still under that $75 mark. You're going to want a coarser one than this. This is the 400, 800 if you only have one stone. But so you can get into freehanding very inexpensively, and it just takes skill. So that's the low end of the range. In the high end of the range is your Chaucera water stones, your Atoma diamond plates, your Naniwa diamond stones. You can get these Veneve things in this size, and each one of those, the cheap ones are like $90 for 2 grits, and the expensive ones are I think $180 for 2 grits. So that's where this higher end price comes from. But you can get like Ferrari level performance in your hand sharpening for $250 out the door for sure. Anyways, back on track. So the enthusiast for Spyderco Benchmade is going to be these things. So why do I go straight up to these? So for most people, we're talking about the fixed angled systems. So if you're already willing to spend $100, $200 on a knife, I'm assuming you have more than one. You've probably got, 5, $150 knives. You clearly have enough dispensable income to pony up some extra cash here and to save up your money for a little bit longer and to buy one of these quality systems. If you're not willing to put in the time and effort to learn freehand, which I totally get, then you're gonna have to pay for it, okay? And there's definite advantages of these systems over the precision adjust. And the biggest one with these is their compatibility. It's because the Work Sharp that's what you get. They've got things where you can like glue onto the plates, but there is a mind-blowing selection of stones for Edge Pros and KMEs that are from the manufacturers, but also from other people. It's incredible, and it is totally next level. Having the lower grit stones is very important too for these ones, and then being able to get, you can get these Veneves for your Edge Pro or your KME. You can get diamond matrix, just everything. This is what we're talking about. If you can afford several knives in this price range, you can afford one of these. I'm not going to get into the nuances of which one you should pick for 2 reasons. 1, it takes too much time, and number 2, I only have a KME. Although one day I'll make a video on the KME doing a review. Okay, so I talked about freehand. I talked about what I think you should do because we're talking fixed angle. And now we go up to the top tier, 250 plus, your Chris Reeves, your Hinderers, your Striders, all that good jazz. On a real note, if you're spending this kind of money on a knife, you seriously should learn how to take care of it. So originally it looked like this, as I was like, if you're spending this much on a knife and you're a knife enthusiast, you should be freehanding sharpening. Once again, I understand that people don't want to do that, so I'll give you some grace and I'll understand, but that leads right back to this category. So if you're spending $450 on a knife, you can afford to spend $400 on a sick setup from these guys. But if you're spending that much money, I think you should be maximize the performance of your knife, and you should be freehanding, which is the only real way to completely, totally maximize your performance, in my opinion. But anyways, so yeah, really what it comes down to, if you're talking angles that are gonna be fixed or aid you, your Work Sharp precision adjust, your field, or these guys. So yeah, that's what I believe how it comes down to. One last final note I wanted to say is, if you do happen to have any of these knives, if you're lucky enough that it comes in under 20 degrees per side, the Sharp Maker is a fantastic way to get extremely high level results with very minimal effort and very low chances of changing the appearance of your knife negatively, which is what I think most people are concerned about. So the results you can get from this sharp maker with just enough skill and time, which doesn't take long to develop on this thing, is like, 95%, okay, 90% of like the total capability that most people will have. Excuse me. So like I can get 90% of the results I want with this, of like total sharpness, but it is missing lots of options and capabilities, but this is a great system also. But the problem is the angle selection. So yeah, guided system, strop is a good route. The true correct answer is learn how to freehand sharpen. These are all, low to medium cost options. Here's a nice strop. Do that. And if you just cannot dedicate the time to learning how to freehand sharpen, like I said, I do understand that. And so the KME, Edge Pro, Wicked Edge are going to be your bet. So that's all I've got. I appreciate your time. I hope this added some clarity. And yeah, just have a good one. Thanks for watching.